Think you're just a traveler heading to your gate? Think again. The moment you approach the sliding doors of an airport, you're already part of a silent system, one designed not only to transport, but to observe, manipulate, and profit off of you. Before you even print your boarding pass, your behavior is being influenced and, in many cases, recorded. Let's start with what you see and what you don't. Those tinted glass walls, they're reflective for a reason. On the inside, facial recognition systems are already scanning every person who enters. They're not just looking for criminals, they're mapping faces, comparing to databases, tracking movement patterns. All while you think you're just checking the departures board. But that's just the beginning. Did you ever notice how the check-in area feels open, airy, full of natural light? That's not accidental. It's designed to reduce your psychological defenses. Studies show passengers are more agreeable and compliant in open, well-lit environments. And while your mind relaxes, your data is being silently collected: where you walked, how long you stood in line, even the direction your eyes move when you see a sign. Now take a look at your surroundings near security, the bins you drop your shoes into. They've been tested, studied, optimized for flow. The TSA officer's tone, the rhythm of instructions, even the spacing between passengers, it's a behavioral pattern designed to maintain control without force. And yet, the real security may not even be human. Many security checkpoints now include biometric AI systems trained to detect micro-expressions, those barely noticeable twitches your face makes when you're nervous, angry, or hiding something. And here's the kicker: you're already being evaluated before you even speak to an agent. One major US airport recently piloted thermal emotion tracking. Translation: they monitor how your body temperature fluctuates as you move through certain zones. Sudden spikes, it flags you. No alarm sounds, but your name goes on a list. A list of passengers to observe quietly. Even the floor you're walking on matters. High-traffic terminals often use directional sound emitters, tiny speakers you don't consciously hear, but which subtly influence your walking speed and focus. Combined with music tuned to specific frequencies that lower resistance to advertising, the entire terminal becomes a behavior modification zone. Still think you're in control. You think you're navigating the airport freely. But in reality, every step you take has been anticipated and even manipulated. Let's start with one of the most overlooked elements in every airport: the signs. The fonts, colors, even the spacing between letters, all meticulously designed using behavioral psychology. They're meant to create micro-confusion. Why? Because confusion slows you down. And a slower passenger is more likely to stop, shop, and comply without resistance. Next, pay attention to the music. That calming jazz near the gates, it's no coincidence. Airports use sonic engineering to influence your emotions. Lower BPMs reduce anxiety and elevate dopamine, making you feel safer, more relaxed, and more willing to spend. Some even play specific tracks proven to stimulate reward centers in the brain, essentially making you happier just by being near a gift shop. But it goes deeper. Have you ever noticed how seating is arranged in weird clusters or odd angles? That's intentional too. Psychologists call it social funneling. Airports are designed to increase visual exposure. When you're seated with no clear privacy, your behavior becomes more controlled. You're less likely to argue, more likely to behave. And yes, you're more open to surveillance. Even the smell in airports. Ever wondered why it always smells vaguely clean but also kind of expensive? That's air scent branding. Diffused aromas linked to cleanliness and luxury are pumped through HVAC systems, subtly nudging you into a spending mindset. All these little things, the fonts, the music, the smells, are not background details. They are behavioral triggers. Invisible levers pulling you toward a very specific kind of experience, one that's passive, compliant, and profitable for them. And just when you think you're in control because you've memorized the terminal layout or know where your gate is, there's another twist waiting, because airports are constantly shuffling layouts and walking paths, often under the guise of renovation. But the real reason? To break familiarity and keep you alert, distracted, and easier to guide. This isn't travel. This is psychological design. And you're walking through it like a lab rat in $1 million maze. You might think your seat number is just a logistical to tailor random assignment based on availability. But the truth is far more calculated. Airlines don't just sell seats. They sell experience levels, psychological zones, and in some cases, Behavioral data. Let's start with seat placement. Window or aisle isn't just a preference, it's a psychological profile. Window seat passengers tend to be more introverted and self-contained, less likely to request service, more likely to stay in place. Aisle seaters are generally more anxious, needing escape routes or movement. The middle seat, that's the wild card. People assigned there are often viewed as less confrontational or less desirable for interaction. Airlines track this, especially if you've flown with them before. They analyze your click behavior during seat selection, how long you hover over certain rows, how many times you change seats. Over time, they build a behavioral map not just of where you like to sit, but of how your mind works when making decisions under pressure.
And then there's the boarding zone game. Ever noticed how certain ticket classes board at painfully specific intervals? It's not just about efficiency, it's about status psychology. Group 1 sees themselves as elite. Group 9 feels rushed, less valued. It's hierarchy by design, conditioning you to upgrade next time just to avoid the emotional discomfort of waiting at the back of the line.
Here's another layer: temperature zones inside the aircraft. Did you know that some seats run colder or hotter based on cabin layout and ventilation? Airlines know which zones are more comfortable and charge more accordingly. But they also strategically leave certain areas less optimal. So you'll pay the difference for a better experience next time. And if you think in-flight entertainment is just for your enjoyment, think again. The touchscreen in front of you is not just a screen, it's a data collection tool. How fast you navigate menus, what content you click, how long you stare at the screen, all of it gets tracked and sometimes sold to third-party advertisers or used to customize future flight offers. In short, the seat you're in is a product of who you are, or more accurately, who they think you are based on data you gave away without realizing it. You didn't pick that seat, the system picked you for it. And what happens once you're 35,000 feet in the air? That's when the real manipulation begins. Because everything you see, hear, taste, and feel up there has already been pre-engineered. You open the foil, it's chicken or pasta. You eat it without much thought. But what if I told you that tray in front of you wasn't just food, it was a product of marketing psychology, taste science, and budget manipulation planned a full year in advance. Most airlines finalize their menus 6 to 12 months ahead of time, not because they care about culinary excellence, but because it takes months to test, calibrate, and reduce costs at scale. Behind closed doors, massive industrial kitchens work 24/7, often not even operated by the airline itself, but outsourced to catering conglomerates serving multiple carriers from the same facility. Your airline's special chicken may have been plated beside a completely different airline's vegan curry made by the same pair of gloves. But here's the catch: they know you won't really taste it. At cruising altitude, your sense of smell dulls by up to 30%. Dry cabin air, low pressure, and white noise reduce your sensitivity to flavor. So what do airlines do? They oversalt, overspice, and oversweeten everything. Not to make it taste good, but to make it taste anything at all. Some airlines even hire neuromarketing consultants, not chefs, to help pick dishes that sound more appetizing than they are. Lemon herb chicken with wild rice sounds elegant, even if it's reheated leftovers. Words are chosen to trigger association, not reflect reality. But it goes deeper. That plastic tray, its layout was tested. Studies showed people spend more time eating and report higher satisfaction when meals are served in smaller compartments. Why? Because humans subconsciously enjoy completing spaces. You finish that little cup of fruit not because you're hungry, but because it's there, and it's finishable. Even the smell of coffee pumped through the cabin mid-flight. Sometimes, it's not because the crew brewed a new pot. It's to stimulate alertness, reset your body clock for landing, and make the flight feel shorter. It's sensory manipulation in a paper cup. And remember that one airline that removed a single olive from every salad to save $40,000 a year? That wasn't a joke. That was strategy. In-flight meals aren't meals. They're engineered experiences designed to distract, pacify, and subtly guide your mood until landing. So the next time you peel back that foil, don't ask yourself, do I want this? Ask yourself, why do they want me to eat this? Because nothing is random, especially not at 35,000 feet. By the time you hear, now boarding, you've already walked miles, been nudged to spend, scanned by invisible eyes, profiled by machines, and you didn't even flinch. Why? Because it all felt normal. But now you know the truth. Airports aren't just places to catch flights. They're systems designed to shape how you walk, how you think, even how you feel. And that's just the beginning. Because if you thought airport secrets were wild, wait until you see what's really happening inside the planes. Tap another video. What's next will surprise you even more.